My dear brothers and sisters, on the second day of our novena, we reflect upon our Blessed Mother who leads us, who calls us to an authentic life of love. There are two words I want to begin by focusing on. The first is authentic and the second word is love. Now, if you want to understand what authentic is, you've got to understand just the opposite. What is inauthentic or what is fake? I think in this culture today, we have been introduced to things that are fake all over the place, starting with fake news. Yeah, I have not watched Indian news channels for quite a long time. I get a headache after 5 minutes. Yeah, they're screaming and shouting, and what is not true is made true, and then you're made to believe that it is true, and you're told a lie again and again and again and again till it becomes true. And we have become masters of things that are fake. And it is now getting into our system. We are also learning how to tell news very selectively. Yeah? That's being inauthentic. That's being fake. Another place where we tend to be, in inverted commas, fake, not entirely, is social media, no? I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on everything under the sun. You have to keep up with the times of the world is going. But what information do we actually put up? Have you realized we only put information that makes other people envious of us? I'm also guilty of doing that. You go to a nice restaurant, what do? Click all the photographs and put it on for everybody to see. Now everybody who's guilty is laughing, okay? And then you go for a nice holiday, you sit in the plane only and you start clicking pictures, no? Because then everybody will see it and you get a business class upgrade even better. Put even those photographs up. So in a way, we give people a fake impression of who we are. We're not being untruthful, but we are giving them a one-sided way of looking at us. And people very often looking at what we put up on social media think that this is who Father Warner is. No, this is what I want you to think who I am. You see? So in a way, we're all moving subtly towards, in a way, an inauthentic way of living. We are not telling lies. We don't want to deceive anybody, but we are moving in that direction. The second word that we want to look at is the word love itself. Now, love, let's get this very clear. I think the word love is confused horribly today, no? Very often I meet people and they tell me, Father, I love ice cream. Well, good for you. I don't mind that you love ice cream. 30 seconds later, they'll tell you, I like my mother. You love ice cream, but you like your mother. It should be the other way around. We are getting confused today between what we like and what we love. And we are thoroughly confused. Love also has been made to sound by the world as something that should, like a feeling. So today we feel like we love you and tomorrow we don't love you. Yeah, that's why they say people fall in love. Big mistake if you fall in love, yeah? Don't fall in love anybody. Grow in love. Yeah? All those who fall in love, even 30 years after marriage are saying, why did I get married to this fellow? Yeah? Because you fell in love. Grow in love. So love is a decision. It's not a feeling. The whole world will tell you that love is a feeling. You need to, kuch hota hai, na? Something must happen. And very often you realize that nothing is happening. So then you begin to think, this person doesn't love me. No, they love you. Yeah? I tell most young people, don't expect your parents to be what you see on the television. Yeah? That doesn't happen. It's not reality. Your parents love you sometimes in ways they can't express themselves. Yeah? Most parents, after some time, when you were small, they kissed you and kissed you and kissed you. Now when your mother goes to kiss you at the age of 16, you say, don't touch me. Yeah? All my friends are looking at me. Yeah? Mothers, may I give you permission? Kiss your sons in front of their friends. Don't be bothered. Yeah? Just kiss them. But we are confused. We think love is a feeling. Love is not a feeling. Love is a decision. And love also means that you're vulnerable. When you decide to love someone, it means that they can take advantage of you. It's a fact. I'm not saying they will. It's a possibility. When I open myself to loving somebody, I have to tell them who I really am. No, unless if I don't, then I'm a fake. The minute I invest in you, the minute I invest in telling you who I am, I become vulnerable. Our Blessed Mother was not fake. She was not a social media sensation. And she was authentic. And she was loving. And she teaches us how to be authentic. And she teaches us also to be loving. Our Blessed Mother chose to be happy. Chose to be loving. Love, as I said, is a decision. You know, perhaps when you fall in love with somebody, I don't like that word fall in love, but okay, you love somebody. And then over a period of time, their life changes. Let me give you an example for the sake of giving an example. Don't take my examples too seriously. Just take it to make a point. Say, for example, you fell in love with a man. On the day of his wedding, he said, I never drink. 3 days later, hits the bottle. Now what do you do? Yeah? It's the story of many people. Many people. And then you have to make a decision to love someone. And it's a hard decision. It's a hard decision. What happens when you marry a woman, beautiful as ever, and then she meets with a horrible accident and is disfigured? You abandon her? No. You make a decision to love. And our Blessed Mother had to make decisions of love. And she invites us to do the same. Let me run through a couple of decisions that she had to make. Not easy decisions. You know, today when we look at Our Lady, we see such a pretty Our Lady. Oh, Mama Mary, we love you. All that we say. Yeah? And we idealize her. In fact, we got such a big pillar there. We put her so high. She was actually meant to be like us. Yeah, she's the mother of the church. With all of us, somebody should put her very low. Yeah, with us. That's how she is. So that we understand from her life that her life was not easy. It was not easy at all. She had to take decisions to love. Let's look at some of the decisions she took. She had to say yes to the birth of Jesus. She could have said no. Today we look at it as a privilege, no? We say, oh, she was the mother of Jesus. If somebody, the angel came to me, I would have said, yes, I'll be the mother of Jesus. No, we'll say that. Hang on. She was going to be an unwed mother. People were going to scorn at her. She could have been stoned to death. Joseph could have rejected her. So many things could have gone wrong. She said yes out of love. She said yes at the birth of Jesus. She had to become a refugee overnight as Jesus was born. She had to flee. She was a migrant. She had to go and live from Palestine. She had to flee to Egypt and live there. Imagine somebody tells you tomorrow, a builder tells you, so many of you are suffering from these problems with builders, tells you, get out of the house. Where will you go? Where will you stay? What will you do? Mother Mary had to say yes to being a refugee, to being a migrant. She had to come back to Nazareth. Nazareth was a very small village. We are told it hardly had 100 people. It was a simple village. If ever you go to the Holy Land, you will see, today of course there's a big basilica, but there was nothing. You see the ruins of that place. There was nothing. She came back to a very simple life and she had to say yes and accept that life of simplicity. Then her son wanted to go out in ministry. She didn't say, you stay here. You don't go out of the house. You become a doctor. I'll tell you what to become. No. She said, go to the will of your father. That was a decision of love to let her son go. I don't know how many mothers today would say, my son, go become a priest, I encourage you. They'll say, very often people are saying, no, who'll look after us? Can I tell you a secret? All the priests look after their mothers. Right, Father Clement? We end up looking after the mothers. All those mothers who are frightened to send your children to become priests, big mistake. If anybody looks after their mothers, it's we priests. We end up looking after, because all our siblings are married, they have their own children, they have to go away. And then who's going to look after you, my dear? We priests do it. Don't say no to your children. But she said, yes, go my son. go do the will of your Father. At the cross, what was that? It was a decision of love. To stand by and see your son die. Ask any mother who has seen their child die. It's the most painful thing. And she bore it out of love. She didn't say on that day, why did God do this? I'll never go to church again. We hear people say that. How did God do this? She never said it. Because her decisions were not based on feelings. It was a decision of love. It was not a moment, today I love God, tomorrow I don't love God. And then again she was with the disciples when they had nobody else at Pentecost and they were lost. She made a decision. Listen to this decision. This was for me the toughest decision. She made a decision to sit at the same table with those 11 who betrayed him, who ran away from him, who denied him, and who did everything to him. Yeah? Imagine if your children's friends had abandoned your son, what would you say? You'd welcome them back in the house? She was with them. Decisions of love. Authentic decisions of love. So, very quickly, what can we learn from our Blessed Mother with regard to being authentic in love? I want to give you 3 things that I want to share with you. First, our Blessed Mother Mary, when we come to her, when we approach her, we do not come to her for what she can give us. You'll say, Father, are you okay in your head? All of us have come to Irla because we we want something. Which one of us has come here because we don't want? And now you're saying, Father, we should not come to her for what she can give us. All of us want something from Mother Mary, no? I often joke and say, don't be offended. I often say, sometimes we Catholics like that Konkani hymn, no? Maka Zai, Zai, Maka. We come to Mother Mary, come to Jesus, we are singing that same song, Maka Zai, Zai, Te Zai, Sogle Zai. Okay, sometimes genuine needs, huh? Sometimes unrealistic needs. Unrealistic. But we come to her, and I'm saying, do not come to her for what she can give us, but who she can give us. Do not come to her for what she can give us, but come to her for who can she give us? Jesus. Many of you at the end of this Novena, you're not going to get what you wanted. Can I say that to you without making you too upset? You're not going to get what you came to ask. So may I ask you on the second day to change your petition. Say, Mama Mary, bring Jesus into my life so that no matter what happens, I still have Jesus. Whether my wish is granted or not granted, I have the peace of Jesus in my life. It's not what she can give us, it's who she can give us. We come to her with what? Now, I know some of you are looking very sad at me. What, Father, say something nice. We thought we are going to get our wish. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. But what is greater? Your need or the presence of Jesus in your life? Think about it. That is love. Sometimes a mother doesn't give what the children want. Why? You don't need that right now. You need something else right now. And maybe Mother Mary is telling a lot of us, I want to give you Jesus. Because once you have Jesus, you have everything. Then even if you're poor, even if there's no money, you're still happy. No? Because we have Jesus. That's the first thing. Second thing. We don't come to Mary for what she can teach us. Mother Mary was not a scripture scholar. She was not a professor. She had no degrees. She had no great learnings. Yeah, there are hardly 1 or 2 lines attributed to her. Yeah, do whatever he tells you. Hardly 1 or 2 lines in the scriptures. She didn't say much to influence our learning. Not for what she can teach us, but we come to her for how she lived a life of love. That's why we come to her. To learn from her example. Let me give you one example, which I like very much about our Blessed Mother. You know, when she was told that she was going to be the mother of Jesus, she also came to know that her cousin Elizabeth was going to have a child, correct? What did she do? She went over all the way to Ain Karim. If you ever go to the Holy Land, you'll see Ain Karim. She goes all the way to meet her cousin. Why? To be with her. For how long? 3 months. Why? Did she go there and enter the room and say, Elizabeth, hey, I am the mother of the Savior. You're the mother of a prophet. Now you help me. No, what did she do? She went to serve. She went to serve. She teaches us by example. You know, my dear friends, I want to say this to you with great love. At the end of this Novena, if your life is not changed, I'd feel very sorry for you. Yeah? If you go back after 9 days and you're still the devil you were, still fighting with everybody, making everyone's life miserable, what is the point? Is that authentic love and living? We are one people here, we are another people outside. That's not a great way to live our lives. Sometimes we do it, but by and large, have our lives changed? And the third thing, with our Blessed Mother, we come to her for what she can, we do not come to her for what she can bring to the table. Have you heard this conversation? Today people say, what can you bring to the table? Which means that, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? Many of us perhaps approach Mother Mary like that. I will come to you if you can do something for me. What can you do for me? Have you seen this in our relationships very often with people? We're very matlabi, you know. When people are nice to us, we are nice to them. We make friends with those people who can give us things. It's true. Yeah? Have you ever given your Khadoos neighbor some chicken curry and say, take, I made for you? You'll never give them. We are good to those who are good to us. And is that authentic living? It's hard sometimes to love people. I've got people in my life, sometimes I don't know what to do with them. But Jesus still tells us to love them. We don't come to our Blessed Mother for what she brings to the table, what can she do for us. But we go to her because of who sits at her table. Or rather, whose table she sits at. She sits at the table of Jesus. And why does she sit at the table of Jesus? Because she's constantly, I believe, she's constantly whispering into his ear. She's whispering. You know, today in the social media world, we have influencers. Have you seen them? Have you heard of them? They call them influencers. I don't know what they do sometimes, but everybody is following them. Yeah, and they are called influencers. Have you ever thought that Mother Mary is a great influencer? Who does she influence? Jesus. She's sitting at the wedding at Cana at the table, and she notices that, hey, that couple is struggling, that woman is struggling, that young boy can't get admission, that person has cancer, somebody else has a bad marriage, little child is sick. What does Mother Mary do? She turns to Jesus, this is what I believe, and she says, can you help? It's not what she can bring to the table, but whose table she sits at and who she talks to. And in this we see our Blessed Mother's love for us, authentic love for us, in her little ways. I ask you, my dear friends, go out today and try at least for this evening to be loving. If you can love one person, just love them today. Pick up the phone, call some old auntie who's sick, someone, a friend who you've not called. You see somebody who's hungry, not those immediately around the church, but in some other area, yeah, and they need something. You remember that somebody is in hospital. Whatever it may be, each one of us knows somebody who needs to be loved. Love them today. You've lived this Novena. Love them today. You really want your prayers to be heard, you want your life to reflect our Mother's love, do something good for someone else. Yeah? And I'll pray for you. God bless you all. Enjoy this time of prayer, these 9 days. Yeah, no magic in the 9 days. Huh? We are united to Jesus in these 9 days. Close to Him and close to our mother. And just turn to her. Whatever your suffering is, you tell her and leave it with her. Whether she does it for you or not important. She has heard you. She has heard you. And she'll make sure that her son, in some way, takes care of your need. God bless you all.